should business owners spend money on? Do you know I get this question all the time? So we're going to get really real here, and some people are going to definitely get offended when I talk about some of the things that we talk about today, because I'm going to get real with you about some of the things that I experience as a business coach and why people actually spend money on the right things to be able to skyrocket your companies, to skyrocket your life, or why people get stuck and don't find their way out of the same income bracket. You know what I'm talking about? It's like you make a little bit of money, you start to feel good, and then all of a sudden that roller coaster of something hits you, and then the money has to be spent on something, or it's Christmas and you are buying presents for a bunch of people. So, okay, so let's jump into this a little bit. So I just finished a 2-day event, and in the 2-day event at the lunch, I don't make an offer during the workshop, just because what I promised is to deliver the workshop, not pitch offers. And so what I do is I give them an opportunity that if they want to hire us or mentor with us, that during the lunch break, we actually will make that offer to them and share our programs with us. And I really like that way of making offers for so many different ways, or so many different reasons. However, here's what's amazing to me. When I look at what people spend money on, like for instance, on this event that I just did, it's like, there's one woman who's like, I'm so clear, I want to hire you. And believe it or not, like I look at her and I know, like I can tell when somebody is going to crush it and do really well. And I know when they're not. And I just know. It's like a superpower that you get as a coach or even as a successful person. You start to realize you can spot the people who have the mindset and the attitude to become successful, and you can spot the people who can't. So I look at this woman and I'm just like, I just know she's going to rock it. So when she tells me she's going to jump in, I'm just like beyond, like I honestly had tears in my eyes, because I know what her life looks like in the background. Like I know how much she struggles. I know how much her husband struggles. I know her husband just got laid off. I know that she's got a couple of really young kids. I know that she's got some medical issues with the kids. Like there's a lot going on here. And however, what it came down to was money, and she didn't invest. Now, I'm not the coach that says, just go find it. I'm actually the coach that says, just go create it. Now listen to me here. Don't tune out. Listen to me for a second. This person is in Mexico right now, like meaning that she went to Mexico. She didn't invest in a program. And this isn't about my program. This is about anything you're facing. This is like, knowing what to put your money into and getting out of the thought pattern that keeps us stuck in the income bracket that we're in, so that we can skyrocket. So she doesn't invest in the program, but she really wants to. But her kids are in private school. She just went to Mexico with her family, and I'm sitting there going, like, it's a hard thing to say. This is a hard thing for me to say, because I totally know that people are like, there's some people who are going to get really angry at me because they're like, how dare you say this? But I have to be really honest with you. It's like, take your kids out of private school for a year. Take them out for a year. I hate to say it like that. Like, my son goes to private school. I get it. But it's like, if it's between you and setting up your family for complete financial success. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm just saying, if that's the only way you can see, then you have to stop and go, what do you think you're teaching your children when you're struggling all the time, and even struggling to pay ends meet to put them in private school? In 6 months to a year, you can set yourself up so that you know how. Now it becomes an intelligent decision on your standpoint. Like, are you learning a business strategy that puts cash in the door right now? Not write a book and see what the credibility brings me, which, by the way, is great. I made $500,000 off my book in one quarter. However, I already have traffic and an audience and people that I can send emails to that can consume my book offer. Do you get what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to do on this 7 a.m. Coffee with Shanda is to have you be aware, like, is there a coach that you want to work with? Is there a product that you want to invest in? Is there something that is going to help you get to the next level, but you don't have the money for it? There's another person that I met that she literally said, I've been following you for 2 years. And she said, I think she said 2 years. And she said, I got tired of being on the other side of the video. And so finally I came to one of your events. She was sitting there like at the lunch offer, and she said, I sold my condo before I came here because I already knew that I was tired of having this roller coaster of money. So she just sold her condo so that she would have the extra cash. Now we all don't have a condo or house to sell. However, there's another woman who got a divorce, and she was like, instead of being completely allowing myself to spend years in the dumps, she said, I took a hold of my life and I sold my house so that I would have enough money to invest because I've been watching online. So two things for you to pay attention to. Both the people who jumped in and actually prepared, like didn't even know if I was going to make an offer or not. And remember, I didn't make an offer in the workshop. So they had to stay during their lunch break to be able to get an offer from me. And so, but both those people have been watching me on my Coffees with Shanda and things like that. So lesson number one is make sure you're giving enough so that your ideal client base, your ideal buyer, someone who you can really help, can actually see you. So don't have the mentality of a client who was really backed up about doing Facebook Lives and Instagram Lives, and because she was so so worried about what she was going to say and what she looked like, and am I doing it right, and why is nobody engaging in my Facebook Lives and nobody's commenting. And I get it, but I'm like, just keep doing it, because it's not just all about you. It's about the one person, the 3 people, the 5 people who watch you on replay that make a difference, right? Like every human soul makes a difference. And so are you giving enough that people actually can see you, and are you giving enough content on a regular basis consistently? Like our Coffees with Shanda are at 7 a.m. and they're coming to an end for the rest of this year, because I'm heading to the Maldives and then I'm off coming up here for the rest of the year. And so, however, throughout the year, I do my 7 a.m. Coffees with Shanda so that you can consume as much information as you can. And then if and when, well, eventually we do make offers. You're going to see them online. You're going to see them through a Facebook ad. You're going to see them through an Instagram ad. If you're on our website, you're going to see them. So then you can you through being an intelligent, human being, can say, okay, I'm now ready, and send me a direct inbox message and say, I'm ready. I really know I need a coach, and I've been watching you, and you're the coach. Are you doing that? Or does that seem like a lot of work for you? If it seems like a lot of work for you, you've got to unhook from the resistance, and you got to get a plan together where you're willing to give like that. Because in this day and age, people consume content on so many different, areas, that if you at least pick Instagram and Facebook and emails, you're going to find that you can actually take the same content and repurpose on all of those different platforms. So that's lesson number one. Lesson number two is please make decisions that have you invest in a better future for yourself. So there was at one point I was losing my house. I was getting the notices on my door saying we're going to foreclose on you. And basically I knew what that meant. One day I was going to come home and my door was going to be padlocked, and everything I loved, my pictures, my clothing, all of those things were going to be inside my house. Like I just knew that was a very real possibility, that I could lose everything that I loved because the bank was going to padlock my house. And this was in 08 or 09 when the market was, really bad in the real estate market. And I tried. I did what everybody else did. I put my house in short sale. I had investors to buy it, and it kept falling out because when the real estate market was a mess, and this is everybody's circumstance, right? Like there's always a reason why things aren't working out. And so in the real estate market, when the market started crashing, I don't even think the banks knew that it was going to be the problem that was going to be. And so they weren't so aggressive on the short sales. And so they wanted more of their money. So they weren't accepting short sales that were highly discounted. And so my house kept falling out of escrow, even though I kept trying. So eventually I remember going to a Starbucks, and I was talking to my stepdad, and he said, let the house go into foreclosure and live your life with 7 years of bad credit. You'll learn how to create cash flow. Well, just stop and listen to that for a second. My dad is telling me to put myself in the bad situation of losing my house and losing my credit was going to force me to learn how to create cash flow. Just think about whatever's happening in your life right now. Like think about whatever's challenging right now. And I know we hear these esoteric things like it's happening for a reason, it's happening for us, and blah, blah, blah. And we know that, but it still doesn't make it hurt any less until you make the decision that you're going to get stronger with this. So I don't know why I just somehow heard him and I went, oh, there's a huge value to understanding how to create cash flow. There's a huge value in understanding how to create cash flow. And then I let go of this thought that I was a loser because everything was going bad in my life and I was losing everything. And I grabbed onto the thought of, this is like marathon training. This is like, becoming, stronger. Like I even think like, even when I was in corporate America, I got really strong profit sharing, but I was a driver. And honestly, I could have created some shareholding opportunities and things like that in the company if I would have stayed longer. But the thing is I really thought the only way to freedom was for me to become an entrepreneur. And what you realize is when you become an entrepreneur, basically the first 3 to 5 years are no freedom because you work hard. It's the hardest, the first 100,000 is really hard. Then to the first million, depending on your mindset. Some people, if they're really intense and they're workaholics, believe it or not, it's actually harder for you. If you tend to be someone who has a strong work ethic, but you actually know how to take off time off, you're actually going to skyrocket. I have a client right now that I know will cross 7 figures. And honestly, she's happy at 800,000. And she won't keep all of that because she's an entrepreneur and entrepreneurs don't keep all their money. It's not like being a high level executive where you actually keep your paycheck. She literally, but her mindset is like, she actually teaches law of attraction, things like that. So she really has a mindset that I had to tweak her going for 7 figures because the fact that she's really okay with accepting the amount of money as it comes and she's not in a rush to get there and she's okay with it coming over 2 years versus 1 year. She has this abundant type mentality. And so when you start, and by the way, she just started in the last year, and this is not an income claim because most people do not do anything even close to this. But she made over 6 figures in like less than half a year from startup, well over. I think she said she's closing in on $500,000 this year, which is her first year with us, which is pretty astronomical. And don't ever think you're going to do that with me. And it sucks that we have to talk like that online, but we're not actually allowed to let you believe even for a second that you would do those type of numbers with any of us business coaches because of all the customer complaints that people do out there in the world where they blame you for them not getting the results. So here's a hint. When people are successful with you, it's really important to get a testimonial right away because it's so amazing how somebody can say, you changed my life, and they got an amazing result. And then 6 months later, 4 months later, they did something that put them in a situation that their life is back in the shitter. And now they think that you are responsible for the breakdown in their life. People have actually told me I'm responsible for them not having lights on in their house. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that problem was happening before I ever came in your life. And so you just have to remember that we are a society that typically rethinks our same thoughts over and over and over again. And that's why we have moments where we're coachable and we have these huge explosions and then we think we know better and we go back into, well, I'm going to pray and meditate to see, if this is in alignment. And honestly, here's what I'm going to share about intuition. Intuition is designed to keep us safe. It's designed to keep us safe. So when I hear an entrepreneur say things like, well, this is the logical next step, I'm like, you are operating like a really good executive. I'm like, you nailed the word, Shanda. Like a high-end executive is supposed to think like that. And then the entrepreneur should not ever think like that. The entrepreneur should break every rule and doesn't think logical at all. In fact, everybody else thinks, whoa, that's a lot. And so those are the differences between entrepreneurial thinking and a really good integrative team. And you need them both to succeed. The integrative personality needs the CEO personality to create the biggest abundance and biggest possibility in the world that they could do in their own lives. And this is why you have to pick your teams wisely. You have to pick your teams wisely. And so who are you investing in? What are you investing in? And what is the mindset in which you're making decisions? Are you making them from a CEO standpoint or are you making them from an integrator mindset? And you've got to be able to decipher between the two. So my COO is an integrator. And I love that she knows that, because she has no desire to be the CEO. And so the CEO and the integrator work really well together, and there's no way I could create the results that I can create without people, specific people on my team. There are specific people on my team that, you know, as this company continues to grow, will get shares in the company and all of that. They already get profit sharing. That has everything to do with, again, me thinking like a CEO. Like most CEOs don't think, really, you're going to give the admin department profit sharing? Yes, everybody in my company gets profit sharing. That is a CEO mindset. You get what I'm saying? That's not even a COO mindset. A COO mindset would be base it on incentives so that it's safe. Do you get what I'm saying? So now look at what you're doing. Are you being like the person in my event that I just had that I know could be successful, but the way she's choosing her decisions inside of her head is she will actually choose private school for her children. And I am not saying your kids shouldn't go to private school. I'm saying get on top of it, right? So if you are going to live a life that you do not figure out how to cash flow your life and take time off with your families, then you are actually teaching your children and other children, other people in your lives, even other entrepreneurs, how to actually make decisions. These are hard decisions. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it would be a hard decision for me to choose private school or like my investment to learn something in business. And I would choose investment in my business because of my children. Now, that doesn't mean I would keep my children out of private school for the rest of their life. There's no way. It's not an either or. But sometimes you have to give up something you really want, like a car, like diamond earrings, like your grandmother's ring, like, you know, I had a cashmere coat, by the way, that I have no idea where it is right now. It's in storage somewhere. And I had that cashmere coat that I could have sold for $2,000 any time when I was struggling. And I didn't, because it was my grandma's. And some people might sit out there and say, good for you for not doing that because it's sentimental. No, I should have. My grandmother would have been so proud of me. She was an entrepreneur. And she would have rather that coat paid for my financial future of myself and my family than ever sit in a closet and wear it 2 months out of the year. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you hear it? So often, this is a hard conversation to have, because it's really easy for you to judge not only me, but judge each other for not making these decisions. And people in your family often will not get this. And so I want you to have a long-term vision that bonds your family, where they all start saying, wow, you were really smart, when nobody actually believed in what you were doing. And look at creating the life that you want to create. I know people, and first of all,